how do you approach financial planning? Kind of give us the oversight of that. And I think maybe you could start, I think you have a investing in 8 words. I read something where you wrote an article about that. Can you talk about those 8 words and then drill down on those 8 words as well?
Sure, my pleasure. In 8 words, investing is minimizing expenses and emotions, maximizing diversification and discipline. So let me explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
Minimizing expenses, the example that I give is when people come back from Las Vegas, I ask them if they won money, and roughly 2 in 3 say they did. But we all know they're not building those billion-dollar casinos to give money away. Same thing comes to investing. Everyone says they beat the market, but we don't live in Lake Wobegon where everyone is above average. We live in the real world. So if the market earns 10% and we pay 2% in the way of fees to an advisor, to the funds that they pick, or a combination of all of them, then on average, they're going to get an 8% return. So minimizing expenses, you can have funds as low as 0.03%, even lower than that, you're going to get the market return. Next is minimizing the emotions.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Allan.
It is a very tough one. I know a lot of people that have very low cost, wonderful portfolios, but they still panicked and sold in 2020. Because in 2020, in 33 days between February 19th and March 23rd, the stock market lost 35% in only 33 days. And you've got to have the emotional fortitude to stay the course and not panic and sell. And emotions cause us to way underperform what funds do. Mm-hmm. And we typically chase performance. Kathy Wood's ARKK, ARK Innovation Fund, has been in the news a lot, and it had stellar performance. And then money poured in just in time to see it do horribly. So even though the fund is way up since inception, the average investor has lost money. So those are the minimizing the 2 E's. Next is maximizing the 2 D's. And diversification is the first. And I have people that come to me and they have pages and pages and pages in their financial statements, and they're incredibly undiversified. What works a whole lot better is I have a total stock index fund that owns as close as possible to every company based in the United States, and a total international that owns as close to possible to every other company based outside the United States. So with those 2 funds, I'm diversified in stocks. I own over 10,000 companies across the planet. And then the discipline to develop a plan and stick to it. Not only did I not have to panic in March of 2020, but I had to follow my discipline that said I'm going to be at a certain asset allocation. And if I'm outside that range, I've got to rebalance. So I had to buy stocks in March of 2020 when they were on sale. And that's easy to explain to any 8-year-old why you're buying when it's on sale, but it's very hard for a human. It was very hard for me to buy more stocks then. So again, investing is minimizing expenses and emotions, maximizing diversification and discipline.
And the 2 hardest ones on that, in my opinion, and I want to hear your opinion, are emotions and discipline. Am I right about that?
I think you're right, but they also, the emotions lead us to buy the expensive funds and the undiversified. So they're all related. But yeah, the emotions are everything that really led us to survive as a species. Our instincts, our human emotions fails us when it comes to investing. In fact, a sign you're doing something right is that it hurts. A sign you're doing something wrong, it would have felt wonderful to get out of stocks on March 23rd of 2020, and it would have been the wrong thing to do. And I felt like puking as I was buying more stocks
right
back then.
Right. That's the correlation of working out versus sitting on the couch, right?
Hey, Stan the Annuity Man here. Did you like that little taste of my podcast, Fun with Annuities? Hey, if you want to see the full version, click the link and watch the whole darn thing. Remember, Fun with Annuities. Living the reality, not the dream.